Hi everybody, welcome back to Mediocre Arts and Crafts. I'm Bug, and today we are going to start decorating our mini album. So if you set that aside, go ahead and dig that out of your stash, and we will grab some pages out of it and get started here in just a moment. Now, this album came together pretty quickly. It doesn't look like very much yet, but by the end of this video and this part of the assembly, it'll start actually looking like a pretty fantastic decorated album, regardless of what 6x6 or decorator paper you have. I'm going to stick the playlist link right up here at the top and in the description box below so you can watch it after you're done with this video. And please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and actually just give us one, because if you hit the button twice, it goes away. So we're going to grab enough sheets of cardstock to do the matting of the front and back cover, the front and back of this vertical pocket, or I'm sorry, vertical folder, and the front and back of both of the horizontal side folders. So in case you weren't counting, we need 10 sheets of 6x6 cardstock. A couple of them we're going to trim down, but otherwise I'm just going to go ahead and pull 10 sheets out of this pack. I just start from the front and work my way back. And here you see I'm just deciding on the orientation of the pages. They're different in this pack, front and back, so I did take a minute to determine which sheets I'm going to have out. Now, the first thing I did is I went ahead and I cut these down to 6x6. And I just get out my trimmer that has the 6-inch platform. I really love this trimmer because it makes it really easy to deal with both 12x12 and 6x6 paper. Even when I'm using 12x12 paper, a lot of times I don't have to take the arm out. I will just subtract from 12 and do an opposite cut. So when I made the prototype, the completed version of this album, I took a good amount of time to decide whether I wanted to use the front versus the back side, or, which page in the book I wanted them. This time I am putting the same sheets in the same order as my original album that you saw in the flip through. The front cover and the back cover have sheets that are 6x6 with a small border around them. So I didn't have to cut these down any further, and just go ahead and glue these two down. So now I'm going to go ahead and cover the inside. So you can see on the right hand side, if you go to the original, we do have a piece of 6x6 that's on the back beneath the waterfall. So that's what we're going to do, is go ahead and cover this now, and in our next video we'll make the waterfall. It turns out that this piece is 5.5 by 5 3/4. So I was just kind of checking the orientation. These are kind of random patterns, but I just checked the orientation anyway. And then I went ahead and started writing down the measurements just so you guys would have them. And there we go. The piece of cardstock that I chose for this section is centered. So once I made the measurements, which are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, I realized that instead of just taking off 1/4 of an inch on one side, I wanted to center it. So I went ahead and, like I said, instead of chopping it off of one side, I took just a little bit off of each side. So I took 3/8 of an inch off of each side. Then I went ahead and took the 1/4 inch off of the top, realizing that I could lose that and not lose very much of the image. If you don't have an image on your cardstock that's centered the way this one is, then you don't even have to worry about something like that. So now I'm on to the vertical pocket. The bottom section is 5 1/2 by 3 1/4, and then the top section is 5 1/2 by 2 1/4. The piece of cardstock that I chose for this has a pretty distinct pattern, and so when I cut it out or cut it apart, I just made sure that the two pieces could butt up against each other and make a consistent piece of the pattern, a continuous piece of the pattern. So here's where you can see that pattern. All I did was make sure that I cut the section off of the top of this top piece rather than the bottom when I trimmed it. And now we're going to move to the back side of the vertical folder. The back side is 5 1/2 by 4 1/2. Now again, the folder is short in the back, primarily because I was trying to save on cardstock and decided to use one 8 1/2 by 11 sheet for this particular folder. So that is the 11-inch side that you see there. Now on to our two side folders, our horizontal folders, and both of them are, they're not square, they're rectangular, even folded. So they are going to be matted with pieces of cardstock that are 5 3/4 by 5 1/2. And of course, if you have an orientation to your paper, this is where you're going to want to pay close attention to what side of the paper you are making 5 3/4 versus 5 1/2. So our mini album is really starting to look like a mini album now. I hope that you all are as excited about the way it's shaping up as I am. Thank you so much for watching another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next portion of this series comes out. Also, I will be giving away another set of the bundle of the paper pad, ephemera, and enamel dots. This time it is going to be randomly drawn from multiple videos, so all of the videos that I publish in the month of May. So don't forget to comment and let me know how your mini album or your current paper crafting project is going. And don't forget, safety first.